Welcome to the Beauty Biz Show. I'm your host, Lori Crete, a career-loving esthetician and beauty entrepreneur on a mission to empower fellow estheticians. If you are a solo or small business owning esthetician and you enjoy this podcast and curious about how we can work together, visit beautybizclub.com for mentorship and essential business growth tools. If you're looking to boost your retail sales and elevate client care, check out my line of luxury spa wraps and headbands at spastar.net. Now, join me as I bring you inspirational messages from beauty industry experts and practical tips to help you achieve beauty biz success. Get ready for some serious beauty biz entertainment. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Beauty Biz Show. I'm your host, Lori Crete, a 23-year career-loving esthetician, founder of the Beauty Biz Club and SpaStar. If you'd like to learn more about what I do, you can give me a follow on Instagram at Lori_Beauty Biz. And today I'm here with my co-host, Lauren Nettuno.
Hello. I'm so happy to be back. For any new listeners, my name is Lauren Nettuno. I am an esthetician. I've been an esthetician for about 6 years now. I own a lovely little spa in my hometown in Montana, and I am also the co-founder of Emerging Esthetician with my lovely mentor here, Lori Crete.
I feel like it's been forever since we've had esthetician. I can't even say it, esthetician talk. I'm excited to be here today.
It's been rapid fire the last few months.
It really has been. And I don't know, as we do these shows together, I think we're both learning that estheticians just want something fun to listen to when they're getting ready in the morning. And I guess a place where you can feel like you're sitting down having coffee and chatting with your fellow estheticians. That's what's been kind of unfolding, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's definitely the feedback I'm getting. Just a fun break from the chaos that is our industry most of the time.
I know it's quiet in the treatment room and then a little wild outside of the treatment room.
Always. In between clients, wild. Everything else, wild. Doing what we love to do, calm.
Well, and speaking of this morning, I'm actually recording this. We're recording this before I have to go to my treatment room. I told you yesterday, my clients have been playing what I call musical books, like musical chairs, like bouncing all over the place, changing their appointments constantly. There's some weird cycle I'm going through in my business where there's not a whole lot of balance. And then I wake up this morning, none of the electricity just in my bathroom is working. So I'm outside flipping circuit breakers and try to get ready to come in here. And I just had to stop and I go, you know what? You have plenty of time to do everything. So just get it together. And then I just started mapping out little systems for a chaotic morning. And I'll tell you one of the things I do. I literally put my car keys in the refrigerator so I won't forget my lunch. I do stuff like that.
That's really smart, honestly.
Nothing's more annoying than when you get to work and you don't have anything to eat because you ran out of the house. So there's an esthetician tip to start off our show today.
My morning has been total chaos and I'm a total mess today. So I definitely feel that. I went out of town, as you know. I went on a trip last weekend. And of course, just have every single spa towel and sheet that I own at my house that I haven't folded yet. So it's like my laundry room is just a giant spa disaster. And I should have done it yesterday, still didn't do it. So this morning I was mapping out how many treatments I'm doing, how many towels I need for each treatment. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I brought exactly only what I would need for today, and it feels not ideal or organized at all.
Spa laundry is such a thing. I got home last night and I only had 3 sets of everything dirty. And I go, you know what? I'm taking the night off. And honestly, it felt so good. So my laundry room also looks like a spa laundry facility right now.
Yeah.
I think we have some interesting things to share. Now, last week, we always do this, like talk treatment room vibes. So I know you were out of town. Do you want to talk about how you set yourself up for a solo esthetician vacation?
Yeah. Um, it was actually I felt like I did a great job this time around preparing because I knew it's not often that I go on like just a vacation that I know for a fact I just don't want to do any work things. Like normally I'm okay going out of town and being able to manage both, and I'm happy to do that most of the time. But this trip, I was, going out of town with my boyfriend, going to visit my sister, two really important people. And I just wanted to totally unplug. And I knew going into it that I didn't want to answer a single phone call from a client. I didn't want to reschedule anything. I just wanted to totally check out. And that's not normally like me. So I really had to prepare my clients for this in the weeks leading up to my trip. And a few things that I did was let everybody know I was going to be gone multiple times. Email, text message marketing, social media. I let everybody know these dates I will not be here and also will not be available to you in any capacity. If you need me for anything, feel free to reach out, but I will not be getting back to you until this date. And surprisingly, not a single person needed anything from me the whole time I was gone.
Was
Nothing.
there
Not
a
even.
little piece of you that thought, oh my God, I'm not needed? Or did you just embrace it
No,
all?
I was totally, because it's like the cosmos, it's almost like they just knew, because the second I landed at home, my phone's been bing, 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 like crazy client frenzies. So it was so nice. I didn't feel like I wasn't able to attend to anybody while I was gone. The other thing I did was I made sure that all my auto replies were set up. So like in the slight chance that maybe a new client was trying to get a hold of me, or somebody that I did something on last week had something going on and needed me, I just set up as many like basic questions I thought somebody could type, and I set up all the auto replies on Instagram
Did you
that.
do it on your phone?
Yeah,
Okay, you're gonna have to mentor me there. I need that
I
help on my
will.
business phone. Okay.
It's really, really easy and so helpful. It's like if somebody even starts typing in a frequently asked question, and as estheticians, we know the questions, like, can I book? Or how do I book? Or, just those questions that we always get. And Instagram, you can map out all these auto replies and it just sends. And a few of them did send while I was gone.
You should teach this in emerging esthetician. I'll just take the class from you. That way it's one and done for the global masses.
I asked because I know how to do it, but to describe how to do it is kind of tough. I asked our sweet Casey if she would do that for me,
Oh,
and
very cool.
she said that
Maybe
she
she
would.
needs to teach a class in there.
It's coming. I've already talked because I this whole time figuring it out. I asked Casey. I was like, "What the?" So, our awesome Casey, she's a part of our merchant
Operations director.
team. She's incredible.
Yeah.
She is gonna teach us how to do that, because really it was a game changing. Just having my phone answer questions for me without me even noticing. And then other than that, I just made sure that all of my, appointments this week were already confirmed and ready to go. And it felt nice. It felt really nice taking a break and not feeling like I was dropping the ball on anything while I was gone. It was so nice.
That's the beauty of it. When I first started, you couldn't schedule things and you had a landline, you didn't have a cell phone. And it was like, if you weren't there, you missed out, literally.
Right.
And it's then I owned a small business, so I had coverage from other estheticians, and even my renters at my spa in LA would pitch in and help when I was out of town. Now I'm back to being solo, so I've done things differently, and I made some notes, because you can teach an old dog new tricks. One is I stopped taking time off just last year during my busy season because I'm in a really seasonable area, and that alone, when I really took my time off with strategy, that increased my income.
Mm.
Just being present when my clients are there. And I'm leaving town next week. And I just decided now it's okay to move some things around. Like even in the Beauty Biz Club, I'm teaching this marketing accelerator that people are very into and it's making a big difference in their business. It's so cool. But I said, you guys, I'm going to be out of town. I have to extend it for a week, our Q&A. And then I called two of my clients and I go, you know what? I've decided to go out of town. I was just honest with them.
Yeah.
And can I move you here? And when I do that, I do throw in an add-on or an upgrade, but that always seems to be like some beautiful karmic thing where then they start investing in those things at later appointments. So
Mhm.
different strategies for different times in our lives. And
Yeah.
I think you're really learning right now this huge, the value of getting your systems in place. Really, it's all about success and balance.
It is. And I think you're right. Like, I am really in this transformative space as a business owner right now, where, like I'm watching people like you or other seasoned estheticians I've been watching for years that have this where I'm like, how are they doing that? Like, how are they gone? How are their clients managing this? Blah, blah, blah. And I have finally, and I was just talking about this with a client who always asks me, she always asks me if I'm busy, but she always follows it up as with like, not just busy, just but are you busy as you want to be, not as busy as like maybe you feel like you should be, just as busy as you want to be, are you? And I'm like, yeah, like could I be busier? Yes, but do I want to be? No. And that's okay. Like I'm really in this space as a business owner and with my studio at home that I'm just like really lately taking the pressure off of being this new emerging esthetician that needs to be booked 10 hours a day every day and have a wait list as long as, you know, your kid's Christmas list. It's just something that I've recently started taking the pressure off myself to be that.
I think you have to pause sometimes to realize that. I remember when I sold my business in LA, and somebody was just asking me about this the other day, and I was looking back through my phone. I have one picture in my phone, and it was after my last client in a business that I had built for 20 years in LA. I had my car packed up, I was leaving. I felt sick that whole day. My last client left, and I cried in my spa because it was
Mhm.
so meaningful. But I have a picture of me going peace out in front of the door. And I took 4 months off and I felt like I went through an identity crisis because I'd been so busy, so busy, so busy. I saw 13 clients a day sometimes, and that was like the norm. Didn't eat lunch, didn't go to the restroom. I just went. And I loved what I did, and it didn't feel that crazy until I paused. And then I created a new term in our industry, and it was everyone talked about being book solid, book solid, book solid. And I go, when I start over, I'm going to be booked perfectly. And that's what you're like embracing right now.
Mhm.
And it does take a lot of pressure off.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, and being able to focus on other things, right? Being an esthetician is the best thing ever, but, you know, I feel like in the early days of being an esthetician or even being an esthetician who is switching things up in your career or choosing a different path that still aligns with who we are as estheticians, you get locked in this feeling of needing to be like booked solid, right? And you're right, being booked perfectly is completely different. It's a totally different side of the world.
Um, it is. And that's what I try to teach in the Beauty Biz Club. And I think that now that you're embracing that, you're going to be a really good teacher of that inside of emerging estheticians. You have to live it. For me, I learn best from people who are living it and then teaching what works. And you're just stepping into that phase. I thought, when we first started talking about what's coming next here in our show notes, that it was maybe be boring, but I do think it's so relatable and it makes people feel less pressure when we talk about maybe one win, one expense, and one challenge. And I have some interesting stuff to share on this. So I want to just share one challenge that happened to me last week. And I haven't talked to you. You don't even know this was going on, but really the challenge in the overall like takeaway from it is we have to take care of ourselves. So maybe it's a good time to segue into this. So last Thursday and Friday, I started having tremors in my thumb. And
Mm.
first thought was, do I have something wrong with my body, like neurologically, because that's sometimes the start of MS or Parkinson's or something crazy. And I didn't even tell Jay for a few days. I just wanted it to go away. And it literally was like moving all around. And then I started going through this weird thought process of what if I don't get to be an esthetician anymore? And that freaked me out because I think anyone who listens to me knows how much I love what I get to do.
Yeah.
And I finally told Jay, who's a nutritionist and an RN. Nobody knows that I call him a Fokker. Like he's a male nurse. He doesn't talk about it much. But he goes, Lori, I think you're dehydrated. I want you to take some magnesium and I want you to electrolyte your water like all day long. And oh my God, it went away. But sometimes we need those little scary things to make us remember how much we love. And it's just a reminder for you guys listening in to take care of yourself. We have to take care of ourselves, especially if we want to take care of other people. So that was my challenge. Did you have any challenge? I know you were out of town, but we also haven't talked for a month. Have you been navigating any kind of challenge?
I would say, and it's so funny because this is the thing about Lori and I for the listeners. We somehow like always are aligned in like how we're thinking, like along, like with our posts on, what we're planning to talk about. You and I always seem to be aligned in that way. And a challenge for me, I would say the last few weeks is right, because I don't really do this. I don't ever leave town. Like I'm not a big traveler. It really throws me off my game. And I went to the live with you in May and then to Vegas in June and then out of town again in July. And that is like not
And
something
you
I've
went camping. Going away camping, you think it's
done.
relaxing, but it's still going away.
It's a lot of work, yeah. And it's a lot of work. You're like literally feel homeless for 3 days and you have nothing. And it's a lot of work to like make it comfortable. So I've just been like out of town a lot lately. And I feel like when it comes to taking care of yourself and the best way to show up as you and as the best version of you is to make sure that your phone systems are in place. I feel like that's something that I'm moving through right now. It's been a little bit of a challenge, right? I haven't been eating the way I normally would eat. I maybe have been drinking a little bit more because I'm out doing this, doing that. And it's funny, we're only in July, but I'm like, oh, I can't wait till fall. Like when everything slows down, Sunny's like, what? Like you're crazy. And so I feel like a challenge right now is just trying to be able to adapt to changes, movement, and still be able to find ways to stay in my systems and like not let everything go to total crap when I'm not in my normal everyday 9 to 5 mode. So take care of myself.
You are in your 20s, and that is definitely something I learned in my 20s is how to be happy and feel successful no matter where I was at. And
Hmm.
that's what I want to teach. And we're going to talk about penthouse vibes because there's a little bit of that in there coming up. But I never talk about this stuff on the podcast, but I do want to talk about an expense I'm navigating. And I have to be careful because it's a legal thing. But I'm really annoyed right now. One expense that I am having to deal with, and this really irritates me. And I don't talk about it publicly, like I said, that often. But my attorney called me and said, there's somebody infringing on your trademark. Now, a trademark costs like $1,000 to do a search to get the trademark. So I paid that years ago, like 2010. Then I had to renew it for $900. And when somebody starts using it, I don't pay attention to this. I try to stay in my lane and stay away from what other people are doing. One of the things I feel the most proud of is how authentic my teaching is. It's really from me being in the treatment room. But when my attorney calls me and says you have to protect your intellectual property or you're going to lose it, it irritates me because this is costing me $1,200 to defend my trademark. Somebody who applied for it got denied it and still chooses to use it. Can you tell I'm getting fired up? And they're supposedly teaching other estheticians how to run a business when they're not even running one ethically themselves. So
Yeah.
that's an expense I'm dealing with that I find to be truly annoying, that I have to pay to get somebody else to run their business in a, I don't know what you want to say, legal, authentic way. So
Mhm.
thanks for listening while I vent that out.
That's just such an interesting and actually really eye-opening for somebody like, say, my age, who, like, we live in a time right now where content is being, stolen from here to there. Everybody's posting the same exact trends. Everybody's saying the same exact thing. And I remember even in the beginning days of Emerging Esthetician, you and Deb were like, "Oh, you got to watch this because of this and because of this." And it's just things that, like, I never thought of until now, and realizing that it's not something that's just free willy. It is cut and dry. And if you work really hard for something, somebody else shouldn't be able to just steal it.
Yeah,
So,
especially when you're doing the right thing business wise and
exactly.
covering the expenses that come along with your
Mhm.
intellectual property. Um, you know, I'll tell you right now, if you want to name something, and this is for you, Lauren, and for anyone else listening in, and you want to trademark it, you can go to a government search and see if that trademark has been taken. It's that easy. It comes up active, inactive. And also I did a podcast, Richard Morse, and you can go back. He's a trademark attorney. That's all he does. Like that's his niche. So you can listen to that. And he was full of really good information. So moving along, are you dealing with an expense that made you hiccup, pause, breathe deeply?
I feel like always for some reason. You know, I do have a couple actually happening currently. I got a random text message from the guy who does my taxes, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, you actually thought everything was handled. Ends up I owe a couple thousand more dollars to the state than he originally thought, so have to pay that." And that was unexpected, and I still haven't done it, but I'm going to. I just was like, I'm not gonna do that right before the government can wait just a little longer so that I can have a birthday trip. What else? Also, mag light and steamer just crapped the bed on Friday, and I need to buy
Are
a
they
new
2
one.
for 1? I mean, like, 1 combo
Yeah,
unit? That's why, okay, don't ever buy them together. It's
I
harder to
know.
replace.
And I even looked, I was like, "Well, can I take it apart and just get the steamer thing on there and only buy a replacement for that?" No, of course not. So, I have to get another one of those, and then I would just say treatment room things right now, it's a reminder that a lot of the things on the market aren't great quality, and it's kind of hard to find the best options. Um, my towel warmer has been broken since the day I bought it, but I just never returned it because that's the kind of person I am. And now it's like really breaking and the door's hanging off. And so
Oh,
I
God.
would say treatment room refresh. It's been almost 2 years since I opened, which is wild. So some things that I've been putting off that are just known expenses that I've been putting off, I need to desperately give a little bit of love to my treatment room. So that's what I would say.
I wish you lived closer. I have extra stuff in my casita because I've had, like, 55 treatment rooms, and I always save the gems. Like, I get annoyed with clutter, but if the hot towel cabbie has lasted 10 years, I'm keeping it around.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. Amazon stuff has come down in price. So it really is interesting. I used to have to pay $600 for a steamer. Now you can get one for 100.
Yeah.
And so you can replace it 6 times and it's still what it used to cost when we didn't have as many resources
Mhm.
available. Oh my gosh. So do you want to talk quickly about a win? And then I want to talk about the
Yeah,
Vegas show. I think people had a lot of FOMO who didn't go to the show this year. So I'm excited to share some stuff.
me too. Yes, a win. My win was that my very last client before leaving town, my
Oh,
last
this is
client
a good one.
at the end of the day on Thursday, was an emerging esthetician and my very first coaching. client, the very first person who applied to get a coaching call from me. And one of our emerging esthetician members was on my schedule for a facial, and it was really, really cool. I got to meet her, and I asked why she's here in town. And she lives 4 hours away from me. And she said, "Oh, I just came for this. It's the only reason I'm in town." And I was like, "What?" And I actually got mad at her. I was like, "You should have called me. I would have taken you to dinner." Like I was like, "Just this," and it was only 60 minutes. I ended up spending like 90 minutes because I couldn't stop giving her a facial. I actually had to like force myself to get to stop. And but it was so great talking to her, and just hearing how she's doing and implementing things, and it really boosted my emerging esthetician.
Why?
So yeah, it was like really, really nice. And just knowing that she drove all that way for a 60-minute facial just to turn around and go all the way back home made me feel so good. So that was a huge win. It made me really happy.
I know you were so excited you text me, and I was with clients, so I never asked. I thought it was just somebody that lived in your town. I didn't realize she spent 8 hours driving to come see you. That's incredibly flattering.
I know. I was like, I have to give her the best facial I've ever given anybody. I think I
Uh,
did.
well, and then you manifested. You had a client fly in on her private jet
Oh
with her.
yeah, that was a huge win last week. I had so many wins. Last week also, I have a client doesn't live here, but she comes here a lot. She flies in on their private jet to go skiing in the winter, fishing in the summer. But I was supposed to teach, part one of a training that I'm doing in emerging esthetician. And I woke up to a call from this said client and said, "Oh, we're flying the jet over. Instead of going fishing, I'm wondering if me and my mother and my sister can all just come to your studio and get facials today." And it was one of those moments that, right, I had to pivot because I had something planned I had to do. But I had a lot of money knocking at my front door 4 days before I was going on a trip for my birthday. And I made both work, and it was awesome. And they upgraded, a few of them upgraded to my most expensive facial, and it was great. And I made both work, and it just felt awesome being able to get both of those things done in the same day. And I manifested it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I will say my win is, gosh, it's weird because I lose half my clientele in the summer. They all fly away, my snowbirds. But I've been selling so many products to the people coming in that I'm doing an average of 3 90-minute facials a day, but making what I normally make doing 5 or 6 facials just because people are so heavily investing in retail right now. So that's definitely a win. I've been shipping a ton of products out to my clients that are gone. And it's all through communication, which is one of the reasons I'm loving teaching that email marketing accelerator in the Beauty Biz Club. Just if you communicate the right way with your clients, you get massive cash injections into your business. Uh,
Mhm.
and then, you know, I rent space at my salon suite. It's mostly a spa suite, I would call it. It's mostly estheticians, but it needs an update, the hallway, and I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I feel like my clients deserve better. And sometimes when you work in a space or you're the owner of the space, you walk in and you don't see what your clients see anymore.
Yeah.
I just started feeling like I'm seeing things and my clients deserve better. So I went to Home Goods and I go, these are 2 chairs that need to be in my hallway. I don't own the place. Am I going to overstep a boundary? I don't know. So I text the owner. I'm like, hi. And she's like, hi, is everything okay? And I said, well, I just want to put new chairs in the lobby. And she called me and she's like, I'm in Iran. She's there, which is pretty much in a state of war right now. I felt bad reaching out to her. And I said, she goes, well, how much are they? And I said, I'm going to pay for them. And she started crying. She's like, thank you so much. So Yesterday I went in and every other esthetician in there is like, oh my God, these look so good. Let's all remodel. And we all just started doing amazing things around the space. So that was definitely an awesome win. And when she comes back from Iran, I hope she's very pleasantly surprised that we freshened
Yeah.
the place.
Good tenants.
You know what? I had incredible tenants when I owned my spa. All of them not only treated it like it was their business, trash was full, they took it out, but they treated my clients like they were very special people. If somebody was sitting in the lobby, we'd offer them tea or water. And I just like that collaborative type vibe because I think the clients feel it when everyone
Yeah.
is in it together. So
Yeah.
We'll return to the episode after a quick message from our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Spa Star Luxury Wraps and Headbands. Are you looking to add a little luxury to your beauty biz? Spa Star Wraps and Headbands are an amazing way to elevate the client experience and boost your retail sales. Here are the top 3 reasons Spa Star Wraps are estheticians' spa wear of choice. Number 1 is the fit. Spa Star Wraps are size inclusive with a unique design that accommodates sizes 0 to 18. The feel. There is nothing else like this on the market. Just imagine if bamboo and silk had a very low maintenance baby. Buttery soft and unbelievably easy to care for. The third reason is functionality. The wraps are lightweight, water wicking, saving lots of space in limited treatment room storage and reducing laundry loads with a drying time of approximately under 6 minutes. Use them in your treatments and chances are clients will want to take one home, providing a profitable boost in retail sales. Visit spastar.net for more details and be sure to check out the footer of the website at spastar.net for wholesale applications.
let's talk about the Vegas show. Gosh, it was like a month ago, I think. I don't even know. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
It was, yeah. It was like mid-June or beginning of June, right?
I think it was the end of June,
End
June
of
25th.
June?
Yeah, end of
Yeah.
June. So, um, this was your first. You went to a hair show before. Were you in school when I spoke that one time and we met up in Long Beach? It was 2020 January. I remember because it was the last thing I did before COVID lockdowns, as far as speaking.
Yeah, I was still waiting for my license. I just finished school. I was working front desk at the place my first job, but I hadn't touched any clients yet. I didn't have a license, so that's when I went. And it was Long Beach.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
was probably well. I mean, this still was busy and we were running around, and I don't feel like we walked the trade show floor much. But do you want to share some of your takeaways from your first? It's really an iconic show. When I first started, my best friend, who became an esthetician, where flight attendants became an esthetician, she lives in New Hampshire. I live in California, like across the country. We would meet there, and it would be so amazing. We would go to the show for 2 or 3 days. We would go to fun dinners, and we would like have glasses of wine or champagne and then go shopping at Tiffany's. It was, and buy best friend bracelets every year. It was like so much fun, but it's changed. So I want to know what your takeaway was for first time at the iconic Vegas show. And again, sorry, we are not doing this to offend people, but these are our truthful takeaways.
Yeah. You know, it was really interesting because if I'm comparing it, or if you're wanting me to compare it to the first show I went to with in Long Beach, I will say the first thing that I noticed right off the bat that I wrote down in my notes is that I remember being like, oh, thank goodness I'm here with, Schedulicity, because the line to get in was wrapped all the way around onto like all the way down. I remember there was thousands of people in line just to check in and get their badge. And I remember thinking like, oh, it's so nice that we get to go in through the speakers or whatever. So what I did notice right when we got there was at first I was like, did we pull into like another entrance? Like, is this just on the other side of the building? But in reality, it wasn't. There was just no one really there. I mean, in comparison to the other show, I remember thinking this feels really empty, especially because of how extravagant and how massively stunning some of these, the vendors looked in the room, and the just everything was so organized. But then it was so quiet. There really wasn't a lot of like busyness and traffic and,
I
the
will
buzz.
tell you, there's a few different reasons for that. Number one is we went there day 2, so
Mm,
everybody had gotten their badges. Not everybody, but a lot of people have already gotten their badges because I have had to wait in line
right.
before that, but it was nice. And we went to the exhibitor line, so there definitely all the exhibitors were already there and had set up the day before and
Mhm.
2 days prior. And they have so much space at the Vegas show.
Yeah, it's massive. The
Yeah.
convention center, it's massive.
But I will say that day 2, Sunday, is usually the busiest day when you wait to get in the doors because think about it, Saturday, a lot of us still work. And Monday, a lot of people leave to go back, or Sunday is usually the busiest day. And it takes me 5 minutes just to get to the front and in with my exhibitor badge because there's so many people waiting to get in. But this year, I didn't have to even say excuse me once. It did seem way less. I don't know what the attendance was. It'll be interesting because then we went to the Sorella class and it was standing room only.
Yeah. It was really busy in there. And I thought that from what I noticed upstairs where the education was taking place, it did seem like there was more people up there and that portion of these events are still looked forward to. It seemed like there was a lot of people wanting the education, but what ended up falling short was then like the exhibitors, the vendors, the whole other part of it, which, and I know you and I touched on this a little bit in Vegas, but the other thing I noticed was that the vibe down there was interesting because it wasn't like what I had remembered at this hair show was that you looked for the booth that you wanted to shop at and you would go there, and it wasn't like people were like fishing for you to come over to the booth, and I remember we were walking through and there was just a lot of being like un- kind of awkwardly pulled in different directions. It was kind of like walking through a mall and somebody trying to sell you a nail polish in the middle aisle, and
Yeah.
that was something I didn't remember from previous shows. And it was a kind of a little bit of a turnoff, wouldn't you say? Like trying to shop and being.
Yeah. And you know what? I will tell you, I've been doing this for 23 years. And what I've noticed is trade shows have taken this massive shift. And it used to be just about the trade show. You couldn't buy anything on Amazon or anywhere else. You had to go there to shop, right? But they also had like really structured classroom times and then floor times. Now I feel like it's classes all day long. The floor seems kind of quiet because you have so many other things going on. We get to shop other places. Um, just very interesting. It's taken and oh my gosh, it's Las Vegas and everybody's having parties outside. I got invited to a party, 2 parties every single night there. And believe it or not, I'm not a party girl. I'm not. I want to go to a really fancy, nice dinner and have like a nice glass of wine and then go to bed super early. So I don't do those things, but I did have a party there. I try to be very considerate of the expense of the trade show and the people going and the people putting it on. So I had my party Monday morning at 8 o'clock, and I want to talk about that in a second. But back to there were swap meet vibes. I don't know if you've ever been to a swap meet, but there was an amazing swap meet in LA where I used to live. But it's kiosks and people are pretty much I don't want to use a word that's offensive, but trying to reel you in. And it felt like that to me. But you were walking ahead of me, and I don't know why I remember this exact moment, but some guy said to me, "Hey, I have a sample that's going to change your eyes." Do you remember this?
Oh, I remember.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, I can't because I'm going to present and I can't have one eye with makeup on and one eye without." And he goes, "Well, no, really, really, it's going to change everything for you." I said, "I can't." And he said, "Well, let me give you something for your feet." And I go, "Well, that's a really sharp right turn, but I've been using magnesium spray on my feet to sleep at night, which is a game changer. and it's drying my feet out. So I go, I'll take a foot serum.
Yeah.
And I shoved it in my bag. And that night I get to my room after we went to our fancy dinner and I'm slightly buzzed and I go, oh, I have some foot serum in my bag. I'm going to try it. I don't even know what it is. So I take it out of my bag and I put it on and it felt sticky and I go to sleep and I wake up. My feet are completely healed. Now I am skeptical of products because I'm an esthetician. I've tried a lot of things that just don't work. So I go, all right, I'm gonna try it again tonight. Oh my God, perfect baby soft feet. So now I get my glasses out. I'm like, what am I putting on my feet?
Yeah.
It was snail mucin or can you believe
Yeah.
it? I didn't even know. I didn't even know. So I go, well, this blows my mind. I'm going to go buy some. And funny, you and I have talked about things we're skeptical of. Snail mucin is one thing we kind of laughed about,
Mhm.
and beef tallow. And at the show, both of us talked to people that have had good experiences with those things.
Yeah. Little thing that I forgot to text you. I'm at my sister's house and I walk in her bathroom and she has a tub this big, a massive, I would say 25-ounce tub of beef tallow on her counter with no other product. My sister.
Is she
I'm
using
gonna,
it head to toe?
and she said that she got really scared and she was like, "Oh my God, I thought I was gonna hide that from you." I said, "What is this?" And she was like, I've been using it. I love it. And I was like, okay. And I had a glass of wine and let it go. But, things,
Well, then
people,
we talked to somebody at the penthouse party that it fixed her hands. She was having
yeah,
an esthetician. And if
yeah,
you're an esthetician having an allergic reaction on your hands, that's not good. But it,
no, or the eczema, how
yeah.
dry and crackly. Yeah. So interesting, the snail mucin.
Okay, go back here. I want to finish this story because this is where it gets really interesting. So I go, I'm going to buy some. I've never had anything fix my skin in 2 applications. So I go online and I look at it. It's $1,400 like for an ounce of it. I go, I should have gotten more darn samples. Maybe it wasn't swap meet vibes.
1 ounce?
I think it was like 1 or 2 ounces. It was $1,400, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's called Pradira Paris, and it's spelled Predire. If you want to Google it, anyone listening in, yeah, $1,400 for a bottle. I can't remember if it was more than an ounce or around an ounce. Yeah,
That
but
I'm
if I see any snails outside, I'm collecting the mucin and gonna try the homemade like beef tallow version of it.
I mean, that's
I know.
wild.
I know. Crazy. So, um, do you have a number 2 takeaway?
My number 2 takeaway was that I would say that it still, at the end of the day, felt good because there are still people like you in the room, the Sorella girls, the, Eminence. There was still this circle of the OGs in the room that were putting out just as much energy as they do every year, time and time again. They're the reason why people show up. And I would say that because these key players are still showing up, doing their thing, rallying for each other, it did feel at the end of the day you left being like, all right, there are some qualms, there are a few things that weren't perfect, but it's still fun. It's still who we are, why we come. And I would say it still felt good at the end of the day, leaving being like, these people are still showing up for one another, for the industry, for up and coming skincare specialists. And I would say that was my number 2 takeaway, is that I remember you saying, like, these are the people I began educating, around 15 years ago. And then you're all just still standing in the room, still doing what you do every time, showing up. And really, it's what people look up to. So I really liked that.
I'm glad that you noticed that because it was one of the special things that just, these are all the people we all came up together in the industry. You still feel the love for it, that I got to see Dr. Ben from Osmosis, who I hadn't seen in years. He was a big part of my coaching. He totally supported it when I, came out of the gate. And the Sorella girls are always good to me. I'll be speaking at their summit. They still have a few tickets available. It's September 25th, I believe. And, Boldajar is always running around high energy. And if you haven't had an opportunity to listen to him speak, it's one of the funnest rooms you will sit in learning. So yes, I'm glad you recognize that, because that was one of the things I look forward to the most. I got to go say hi to everyone. And Tony Picciani from Neurotris, these are all people we are kind of up and coming together and having fun with our love for the industry. And then I want to talk a little bit about Penthouse Vibes. I had a party, and it was for the Beauty Biz Club, but we ended up inviting emerging estheticians, which we had a few emerging estheticians there, some Beauty Biz Club members. I did it at 8 a.m. because I tend to be all business. I told you I'm not a party girl. And one of the reasons I did it is because I like to sit in a room with estheticians. But also the Penthouse Vibes, one of the reasons I like to do stuff like this is because I want estheticians to see the abundant possibilities out there that you can welcome in as an esthetician. So, I mean, even before we went to the show, we had a butler service breakfast. Like, I could get used to the butler life. What did you think about Penthouse Vibes?
Penthouse Vibes were unlike anything I've ever seen before. You guys, you and Jay seem like you should always live in Penthouse Vibes.
Well, I'm down for that.
You guys really blended nicely into that world. I thought it was so just fun. Like, it really, you're just such a good example of what hard work and dedication can get you in this industry. And what's funny is I just last night had a girl who Sunny worked with 5 years ago reach out to me randomly on Instagram, and she said, I'm thinking about going to esthetician school. Is it a business that is at all lucrative? Just be straight up. I'm wondering, am I really going to make any money doing this? And it made me just realize, people are still so unaware that, if you really, really want it, you're just such a good example of that. Then, you can have a butler, from
or three, setting up your party.
Yeah, or throwing this party in a penthouse in Vegas. It's just I loved that aspect of it. Just knowing that, not all of that is from, you physically touching faces, but what it is all from is your love for the industry and for estheticians. So it was so cool. And I thought that the attendance was actually just the perfect amount. We had a few emerging estheticians there, some of your Beauty Biz Club girls there who have been in the club for a long time. Of course, there was some emotion, and it was just, I thought it was really sweet and such a great way to end everybody's weekend.
It's the smallest attended event that I've had like that, and the biggest Penthouse vibe. I wish more people would have been able to experience it. I'm learning a lot about quantum physics right now, and I've taken my manifestation, which I've always been really good at since I was a kid, but I'm expanding that. And one of the things is you have to put yourself in a different environment to know that it exists, to call it into your world. And that really was what I wanted to share with people. Oh my gosh, this is so doable, and it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty about having nice things or doing nice things or being in a beautiful environment. Welcome it in. And then you'll become more successful everywhere. But the smallest attendance, but it was really, like you said, it was very sweet. I got to talk to every person there and learn about their business and what they bought at the show. And I just thought it was amazing. And I hope the next penthouse party is filled with a little more people in the room that want to experience something fun like that.
I was definitely surprised by the amount of people that said they were coming and then just didn't. That's unlike anything that you've done before. You normally know exactly who said they were coming but now can't, and also like exactly what happened to make them not come. Like that was
It goes back to charging for something. It was free to attend, and then people don't put as much value on it. But I was surprised too, because estheticians complain all the time about being no-showed. And
Yeah.
I was surprised to be no-showed by so many estheticians, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But
It was interesting.
yeah,
It was interesting, but it still ended up being perfect. And I thought that the goodie bags that you made everybody were good.
yes, that was a swag bag that had some serious swag to it.
I did.
And I have to say, it was also Environ Skincare and Sorella Apothecary. Like, people gifted me stuff to gift other people. So thank you to those companies as well. Um, all right. Well, I have to go to work soon, and you probably do too. So let's wrap it up with proud moments. This is something we're going to start doing because both of us get to be around amazing estheticians on a regular basis. And I thought, how about share some esthetician success? So we'll share some success, just proud moments from inside the Beauty Biz Club, and to inspire you guys listening in, and from inside emerging estheticians. So I'll start here. Oh my gosh, and names mess me up. Jenny Joe Penelyric, I believe, landed a cover photo in a feature article in her town for like this community magazine, but it's a beautiful glossy magazine. And I just want to say, this is not something you see often, an esthetician landing a cover photo of a magazine and having a big feature like that. So Jenny Lee Joe has been a member of the Beauty Biz Club for a long time, and I'm really proud of her, and I want to say congratulations. And how cool. We are now at a place in our career as estheticians where we are getting photo shoots for a cover of a magazine outside of the trade, like in your community. I thought that was awesome. And then Gina Venturelli, I believe it's pronounced. I have been coaching with Gina for a really long time, and she has come so far, and she just opened her new wax studio, and it's just absolutely beautiful and amazing, and I'm super proud of her. So those are my two proud moments that I wanted to share. Opening a business is not for the faint of heart, especially in today's world.
Yeah. It's definitely not. And especially with the cost of like what it costs right now to do something like that. It's a lot. I've had a few wins, or proud moments, I would say, in emerging esthetician. One of those being Sarah Dries. She is an esthetician who has been with us since the very beginning, and she is one that has just really implemented every single thing that we teach. And she recently did this really awesome branding photo shoot and put herself out there in a way that I don't think she had before. And they came out perfectly. Her brand is really coming together. She was so happy about them. She's moving her business to a new space and just revamping, and it looks so good. And you can tell that she's really settling into like who she is as an esthetician, who she is as a brand. And I can just know that she's going to be wildly successful in where she lives, and it's really cool to watch these things happen.
I want to say something. I really feel like you are the OG of these outdoor branding photo shoots. I do. Like, you trudged your massage table up into the mountains with a whole photography team. And now I see a lot of people doing it inside the Beauty Biz Club and inside of emerging estheticians. And the truth is, I sent you a screenshot this weekend. These beautiful nature-driven branding photo shoots are really upping social media engagement right now. So I feel like you're the OG of that.
Thank you. It's fun. And, I remember talking to Sarah about this, and also, remind me her name. She's at the live that we're talking about her pictures, I believe.
Alicia,
yes. I remember I was talking to her even about stuff like this. And it's just so fun getting out of your element. So I hope that more people do it. My second proud
You
moment would
have a
be
training on that inside of Emerging Estheticians. You guys, this is $49 to grab this type of system and structure and insight from an esthetician doing the work, emerging esthetician. You did a whole session on that, right? With
yeah,
handouts and
yeah,
following outlines.
branding photo shoot on a budget. That's exactly how Sarah was able to do it. She found a friend of a friend who had a friend who kind of wanted to be a photographer. Like, and now they're like trading and collaborating. And it's just like, you can get stuff like this without spending crazy amounts of money.
And you're teaching people how for $49.99, still a
Exactly. Something
introductory
I'm super
price. So.
Second proud moment is Jerry Jones, who came out of the gate. She was a newer member in Emerging Esthetician.
I think she's like my age too, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be like 23 years old out of
No.
school.
And it actually reminded me a lot of you because I coached her. I had a coaching call with her, and then she's been in the membership. And they at one point, owned a bigger spa, but now she's downsizing and solo esthetician, doing this really for the first time. Went to esthetician school with her daughter. Just an awesome story. And we were doing our coaching call prior to her soft opening, her grand opening, and she just had her grand opening, and her soft opening was completely booked. She's getting new clients in, everything is looking perfect, and she's been killing it on social media. And she just is another one where I'm like, I see you. Like, I can see you, and I'm just rooting for you. Like, it's just so fun to see these people who you're coaching and who are investing, their time and their money into learning from other estheticians. Really just taking it all and utilizing it and just seeing the reward of their time and effort and money being invested into their passions. So it's really, really cool. I love it.
All it takes is an ounce of somebody believing in you to up your creativity and your confidence. And that's what mentorship to me is about. And we offer these again in the Beauty Biz Club and Emerging Esthetician. I really do have to go, but I want to talk about one trend because this was so interesting and it's pop culture, not so serious about beauty business, but about the beauty world in general. The Bezos wedding. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, wild.
So you started texting me months before the wedding about all the plastic surgery that was happening in the world.
Yeah.
And then I noticed when the wedding took place, all these people that you had been texting me about were attendees of the wedding. I think, like it used to be, let me get a spray tan and my hair colored before an event. Now it's like plastic surgery is a thing before you go on a big vacation. It's crazy.
Oh, yes. Like, it's wild. Like, let me get a fresh set of girls because I'm wearing this dress.
Well, see, maybe Marie just paying attention to that. I'm looking at Kris Jenner's facelift going, that is amazing.
Oh, her facelift is killer.
Yeah.
So good. I've had like 7 people be like, can you do this to me? I'm like, no. That is unfortunately not something I can do.
Well,
So
it's crazy. I go in and I talk to my hairdresser friend, and she's like, "Do you want to go get injections from the guy that did Kris Jenner's facelift?" And I'm like, "You have access to this man because I don't want injections right now, but maybe 5, 10 years we're gonna talk about something else." So yeah.
God, and you know what? Sometimes I love women. Like, I have a client, she is just like, love her to death. And she has all the money in the world to do anything that she wants. She's in her 50s. And anytime I'm like, well, you could do this, you could do this. She was like, no. She's like, I'm just going to save. I know exactly what date, month, and year I'm getting my face done. Like, all right, well, if at least you have a plan.
She must be a Virgo.
Yeah, she's just like, she knows exactly what she wants. When it comes to my trend, I'm obsessed with right now, and I know if the girls are girling and they're listening to this, I've been all up in this whole Love Island situation, watching Love Island. And what I've noticed that I've seen a lot of people talking about is one of the favorite girls on the show, Iris, is people are obsessed with her because there's all these girls standing in a line, and people are talking about how she is like looks like she's never wearing makeup, and that's why they're obsessed with her. Like, she's on national television, but she looks like she has nothing, bare, completely bare face, no makeup on at all, whereas all the other girls are like, very done up, or at least look more so done up than her. But people are just obsessed. Like I've been reading all these Reddit things saying like, what, that she's wearing something, but what, like, it looks like she's wearing nothing, and she's the most stunning person. Like just skin, baby. It's all skin. I'm looking at her and I'm like, she's probably not. She's probably wearing a skin tint and a little bit of mascara because she probably
takes good care
of her skin. Love it.
You've been obsessed with no makeup for you've texted me about it like 3 times. Can you talk about this on the show?
I'm obsessed with it. It's because that's what I do.
Yesterday. I should have taken a note for you. Next time it pops up, there's a new skincare that comes in like a compact, and you pat it on your face and it makes you look like you have no makeup on. Next time I'll send it to you and we can talk about it on the next show.
Okay. Can't wait.
Did you ever find a good SPF? Because I know you felt too oily from the one you had been using in the summer.
No, but there's this girl, another esthetician in my state, up in Whitefish, so quite a ways away from me. She has this amazing little spa up there, and I saw on Instagram, just started posting about a sunscreen that she brought on, and I'm very curious. I'm going to reach out to her and see what it is, because she put it on in her story this morning, and I was like, that looks perfect. Weightless. Amazing. So I'll find out and I'll let you guys know.
Take notes. We'll talk about it next time.
Okay.
All right. I have to go touch faces. And are you at work? Are you seeing clients today too?
Yeah. My first client will be here in 9 minutes.
Okay. We got to go then. All right. Nice chatting with you.
I enjoyed this. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Beauty Biz Show. I hope the episode has left you feeling inspired to build the beauty biz of your dreams. As always, we appreciate your kind reviews as it helps us attract amazing guests to be interviewed. Also, be sure to give me a follow on Instagram at Lori_BeautyBiz and SpaStar_Lux. If you'd like to know more about how we can work together, visit beautybizclub.com, where we are busy helping estheticians create outrageously abundant careers.